This is an upside-down cranberry cake.
Yum!
Doesn't that sound good?
All right,
so a whole bag of cranberries, raw. We're not going to cook them or anything. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch.
Beautiful.
That's going to help our upside-down cranberries kind of hold together. 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Looks like a lot of sugar, but cranberries, like you said, are super tart, so you do need a lot. And I'm going to flavor it up with a little bit of cardamom today.
Oh, I love cardamom.
Doesn't it smell so good? A whole teaspoon of that. And then we just pulse it up. So we're basically chopping our cranberries, but instead of chopping them on a cutting board, which would be very messy.
And it would stain your cutting board.
We're gonna pulse them up a little bit in our food processor until they're coarsely chopped. Over here I have a cake pan. I buttered it a little bit, dusted it with flour. I also put a sheet of parchment in the bottom. That's just
to help the upside downy part.
It's like extra insurance.
Can I spread that for you, friend?
Yeah, throw that in there, spread it around, edge to edge. I'm gonna come over here. I have a whole stick of butter in here, melted that down, and instead of putting our melted butter into another bowl and then mixing our cake batter, we're just gonna make our cake batter right into the pan.
Smart. You know how I hate extra mess.
I know, right? So make sure you melt your butter in a large enough pan to make the batter. So a whole stick of butter, some more sugar because it's dessert.
Can I whisk?
Yep, 2 eggs. Whisk it up. Once it gets nice and smooth, I'm gonna add in a little bit of flour. A little bit of baking soda. It's gonna help it rise a tiny bit.
Lovely.
And of course, a little bit of salt because that just makes everything taste a little bit better.
Yes, it does.
All right, so bring that batter on down here. We're gonna pour it right over top of our cranberries. So I have one right here that's nice and cool. We're gonna flip that out in the next act.
Ooh.
But if you check it out, some of those cranberries kind of bubble around. It gets nice and
Now,
pretty.
this is a great tip. It's really important, right, Grant? It's sort of like when you make a lasagna, Gina.
Yeah.
You need to have that time for it to set and kind of come back to room temp.
Exactly.
To release
Yeah,
properly.
especially with the cranberries too, because they have all that natural pectin in them. And that
You really
doesn't
want it
really
to set up.
congeal until it gets cool. So you want to
Until
make
it
sure it's
cools down.
completely cool. And then we'll flip it out. While we're down here, I'm going to show you how to make this whipped cream that I like to top it with. So I have some sweetened whipped cream. I'm going to add a shot of, this is walnut liqueur.
Ooh.
Yum.
I don't think I've ever had that before.
A little bit of salt, because I like a salty whipped cream. And to add some texture, some coarsely chopped walnut.
Oh.
And that's going to be our topping. So this is our cranberry upside down cake. I put a little bit of cardamom and the cranberry on top. We flipped it out of the pan.
Ooh,
a great tip for you guys at home, if you try to flip it out of the pan, it's like a little bit cool and doesn't quite come out. Just put your pan on the stovetop for a minute and let it sit under the heat and then flip it and it should come out super easy. So I cut it up a little bit and here's a piece of it. Look at that. Ooh. And I also made this delicious, I made this yummy walnut whipped cream and I totally forgot that one of my friends Jeanette is allergic to walnut.